All right, guys. Hello and a warm welcome to a special episode on Crick Voice. So we have seen a lot of discussions, lot of debates in terms of Australia's great bowling, India's poor batting, how India dominated couple of days, and then suddenly one session, went everything. I mean, it was a day that no Indian fan can forget. I mean, 19th of December. Ironically, that was the same day that India recorded their highest ever score 4 years back. Before going into the topic, let me introduce two guests here, Prashant and Bhaskar. Both are very keen followers of the game. Prashant owns a YouTube channel, so he's got that interest to go and give those views. So, and Bhaskar, his passion is you can see here. He is taking this call from a car going back to his home, right? So that is the kind of passion. Thanks, Bhaskar. That is the kind of passion that is showing here. Thanks to both for joining me on this show. Probably I start with Bhaskar because since he's traveling, so we'll start with Bhaskar. Bhaskar, if you look at the first test, right? Indian 11, right? Indian 11 out of almost 7 or 8 people, they are not playing international cricket through the year, meaning they are only playing test cricket. Forget IPL and forget other leagues. I mean, they're not playing these all formats of cricket, right? On the other hand, when you see Australia, most of them are playing all forms of cricket. So do you think that is playing a part in India not doing so well, Bhaskar?
Yes, I thought about that. Okay, fine. People are having a burnout. A lot of cricket being played. So we said that we need a test specialist. And the word use pannaanga. We need a test specialist. Right now in the competition, guys who are playing test cricket doesn't fit into one-day plans. White ball plans, they don't fit in.
The point is, it is not trying to find an excuse, but what I was feeling was, is it time that India start looking at players to suit all the formats? Meaning, why do you give likes of Mayank Agarwal a rest? I mean, he's done well in the IPL. Why do you give him a rest? He didn't play in any of the T20s. You could have played him there, and then they could have played one warm-up game before the Test series. And then when you are playing, when you have Shubha Gill in the plans, why not have him in the ODIs? Play him in the ODIs or T20. When the whole squad was there, try to mix and match players. So Prashant, your initial thought?
Yeah, with respect, first of all, with respect to test specialists, right? They had a longer gap in the sense, with this COVID times, their preparation was solely focused on test preparation, and considering that they are not in the scheme of selections for the white ball cricket, obviously they would have been better focused for test match. Okay, considering it is 36 for 9, we are sort of pressing the panic button. It's about the technical glitches and what they could actually correct it and then come back into the foray of things. But having said that, players like Mayank Agarwal, right? We also talked off the record something about the muscle memory. I mean, playing in the 8th stump and then not leaving enough balls. See, Australian conditions definitely, unless if it is full length delivery, even a just short of good length, the bounce is going to take the ball higher, right, on top of the stumps. So even if it is slightly outside the off stump or on top of the off stump, the players should start leaving the balls more. That is exactly what Cheteshwar Pujara taught us in the first innings. Okay, playing very late and then leaving the balls and then developing a partnership. These are all the attributes which the test specialist can actually do it much better than the other format players, or all format players. So that is my opinion.
Okay, coming back to you brought up a very interesting point during the discussion that the players Pujara, they kept leaving the balls. I mean, when you're playing only that cricket, as you said, they don't go and poke. But
Correct.
On the flip side, right? On the flip side, when you think of a situation where you are batting for 20 or 30 odd overs, you have hardly had any runs on the board, then suddenly a couple of wickets fall. Then the slide happens, which is typically what happened in the second innings. In the first innings, what happened was they played for 20-30 overs, then they took it to 50-60 overs, so the damage was not done. Same thing happened with Australia. Same thing, they also were, their mindset was all defending. Suddenly there's an old adage that goes, right, that always add 2 wickets to the score, and then you see you are in a strong position. Say for example, Virat Kohli, I know he's supremely talented, that's all fine, but since he's playing all the 3 formats, he's always looking out for runs, meaning he's trying to defend a good ball, defend it and run. So basically he's changing that strike. So same ball, Pujara is leaving the ball, but Kohli is tapping it and going for a run. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are on the lookout for runs, your chance of staying out there in the middle is also more. Yeah, Prashant, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. See, when you are trying to be very aggressive in the crease, it is just not about scoring boundaries. It is also about rotation of strike. Okay, the bowler is actually setting you up for the maximum number of deliveries in an over, so that he finds a loophole in your technical aspects. Okay, so when you break that rhythm just by taking a single, or a quick jab down the point region or the cover region, quickly convert the strike, again the plan changes, the field changes, because Australians go plan so much outside the boundary lines, and they sort of bring it into the stadium and play it like a switch on switch off mode for different set of players. When you break that rhythm, it really helps. Now, right now, in this scheme of things, only Virat Kohli is on the lookout for singles. I don't see any other batsman who is actually thinking in those angles. Now, to add it, imagine if you have a left-right combination, who is going to do that for you? That is going to again add advantage to India, and also would break Australia's rhythm.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah, Bhaskar. So that is what I meant by all format players. Basically, people are trying to look out for runs. I agree to your point that Australian bowlers were exemplary, but that is what you expect from a number one test side, right? And also these 3 fast bowlers currently they are one of the best units, right? So that is what you expect. So how do you counter that?
See, that's where Kishore. That's where the point is that Kishore coming in saying that people the format. Mayank was slightly pitching earlier. See that the IPL habits are coming in. All these questions we are raising it. Yeah, that's the reason we also need speed. I also said one of the discussion earlier is that okay, you want to play more. Guys playing all 3 formats, or guys who are playing only white ball, then shifting to red ball, probably they don't tend to poke a lot and tend to fish around a lot. But the red ball players probably tend to leave ball more, actually. Of course. See, if you see even this attack now, Kishore, if you look at closely, probably Stark and Cummins play a lot white ball cricket also appointed. Hazelwood is on and off. He doesn't play T20. If you see, these guys play only one white ball format, which is one day. That also, they manage the workload properly. And not all 3 guys play even T20 also. I'm very sure nobody's playing. Stark might play, but Hazelwood is not playing it. So they have a clear-cut... the workload management is really good. Okay, of course, to counter this, I still see this 36 still, even though I feel a whitewash on the cards or something like that, that negative feeling is coming in. I feel this as a one-off series, one-off match, one-off session actually, not even a match, one-off session where we lost the match, where they bowled really well, we didn't do well. Hopefully we'll come back good. Yes, red ball players are really right now is more important than the next 3 test series. The dependency of the guys who are playing only one format becomes more relevant.
Just to add only one point in addition to what Baski said. Okay, suppose if we press the panic button and start making changes, like 5 people new coming into the next test match, it is going to really make things really worse. And with the new captain, and people are going to start thinking so many other aspects with respect to, I have only one hit, so that I have next 2-3 matches for myself. That sort of feeling and all should be kept aside. So not many changes. Virat Kohli is not there. You have some openers glitch. Just address that. And Mohammad Shami is not there. Possibly 3, maximum 4 changes. Beyond that, we should not change too many things. That's all I would say.
That was where I was coming, Prashant. So looking ahead for the next test.